All right, guys. That's it for the podcast. We'll see you tomorrow. Later. Yeah, see you later.
All right, stop the outro. Stop the outro. It's not
telling me I'm gonna be canceled. I'll cancel you, bitch. You don't know me.
All right, stop the outro. It's confusing. Okay. Hi, hello, welcome to the Double D Experience, ladies and gentlemen. A comedy banter podcast, sometimes funny, sometimes serious, but always off the cuff. In case I didn't get that through your thick fucking skulls. I'm David. I'm joined by this guy. I think he has a name. What's your name?
Queer McJones McFuckhole.
It is Pride Month, ladies and gentlemen.
So that means I have a free pass to be gay till July.
For just this fucking 1 month. For 1 month, all you heteros are allowed to be gay. Just this 1 month. But the second that clock strikes midnight on June 30th, whoo! I better not catch a single one of you fucks acting gay around me.
It'd be so funny if like some guy's like, oh yeah, Pride Month, and he's like just turns gay for like a month, and then as soon as July 1st comes around, he just reverts. He just reverts back to being straight. It's like, oh man, like a shitty version of like Cinderella. Like, you know, once the clock strikes midnight, like you're gonna become poor again. But it's just like in this case, you just become from gay back to hetero, or whatever the fuck.
I've heard of bippity boppity boo, but this is ridiculous.
I heard a bippity boppity whoa.
Well, I was about to say you sounds like you're getting like bippity boppity bamfed instead.
Oh yeah, from behind. From behind.
I was just talking with my therapist today about the one time that I accidentally kissed a dude.
Okay, but who initiated it? You or the other guy?
The other guy. Yeah, because it was we were with my my ex-girlfriend at the time. I mean, she wasn't my girlfriend at the time. Like, this was before we got together, and I was trying to make her laugh. So he had like a piece of chocolate in his mouth, and we all thought it'd be funny if I tried to take the chocolate like from his mouth, like with my mouth. And so I tried to do that, and then there was contact,
but no tongue.
No, only chocolate.
Okay, that's good then. At least.
Only chocolate, and dude, like the musk of like a man on my face. Ew. It's kinda gay.
Yeah, you know, it's also like, you know, a lot of people seem to forget that like scent is like a real I don't like. I've heard it before.
Pheromones are everything, man. Like, there's one woman that I used to regularly do it with. Like, I literally like whenever like I was with her, that I knew she was nearby, the scent of her perfume. I'm like, oh fuck, she's here. Oh, it's that time.
Dick's already full mast. It's like
not even kidding. Like, that was all it took. Like, that alone made me so fucking horny because I'm just like, yes, it's time.
Yeah, scent is a very. I guess it would be more on the secondary side of like sex characteristics. But
you would know. You would know that scent is important.
I mean,
you would fucking know.
Listen, Dave. Let's not be pointing fingers right now. Look, what David's laughing about.
You can't see it right now, but it's right in my webcam. I'm pointing right at you, my dude.
What?
Shirtless and all, because it's hot as balls in my room. I got my AC cranking on in the background. I normally have all of that turned off of the podcast, but guys, we're in the middle of a heat wave right now. I'm just gonna edit it out later, like I do with Dennis's audio. All right, it shouldn't be a problem, but if it is, then I don't know. Fuck yourself. Whatever, like, Dennis, continue.
Like, it's not even that we're like in the Midwest or whatever, but it's straight up like. Apparently, I love Windows 10 that they did this, but like at the same time, it's also taking up a little too much room on my fucking little taskbar. Right. But like, it shows like the weather, right? And literally, as soon as I opened up my computer, it just said 95 degrees, and I was like, I mean, as if I needed an excuse not to go outside, because I usually don't go outside. But like, you know, when it's that fucking hot. Like, I haven't even left my house yet today, so that's like, I don't even know exactly, like, truly how hot it is, but like 95 fucking degrees. Not to mention that we've already gotten news that a heat wave is coming. I don't know to the East Coast, but it's already hitting like the West Coast and the Midwest. So
the upper the Northwest.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. Like, my sister's actually over in Washington right now, and like, she literally sent me a Snapchat saying like, it's so fucking hot. Like literally as if she was like melting already, like over there. And
did she try cooking an egg on the sidewalk?
She probably could have, like, no cap. I mean, also, like, over here, it's like 95. Like, I bet over there it's like at least 110. But, you know, for Jerseyans, it's like anything around like 80 degrees is considered like too hot for some people. And like for me, it's like if it's past 80 degrees, it's like, nah, I'm not going outside. Nah, forget it. Nah. 81, nah, it's too hot for me. Nah, I can't do it. No.
Look, your piss might smell like coffee. But what if, like, we take, like, the sewer system, right? Like, what if we take, like, wherever, like, we just put all of the pee, and then we just, like, we conglomerate it all together and, like, just combine it with, like, the cooling power of the ocean, and then send it somehow into space and have the piss layer replace the ozone layer.
David, are you fucking high?
On life.
Life is not that kind of drug.
True.
Life is not that kind of drug, David. I think you and I are way too old to even say that anymore. We cannot say that.
You know what pisses me off, though? It pisses me off when people are just like,
pisses you
humans
off,
are so awful. Like, we are the virus. We are the ones. We are destroying the planet and causing climate change.
Did you hear this recently?
With our plastic straw.
No, I just hate, like, I think all that shit, personally, I'm no conspiracy theorist, but I think all that shit is propaganda, because real shit, like, climate change is caused by, like, 80 people. Something like I think, like, damn near, like, 80+% of carbon emissions are the ones that come from, like, that shit you see on, like, the highways, like, you know, the fucking, like, the factories and stuff. It's not even just our fucking cars or anything. Like,
we're so bad for using cars. Oh my god, I can't believe we're drinking coffee out of
like, you really think that shit is, like, fucking saving the planet? Like, just when, like, you go and, like, recycle that in the
biodegradable straws, all that shit.
Like, it's gonna take, like, governmental, like, regulation and stuff, like, you know, the Green New Deal and all that kind of stuff to make an impact on that. Like, you aren't, like, fucking change. I mean, it's a good thing to do because it's good to not be wasteful, but, like, it's not like.
Yeah, but it's all in your head that it actually is helping anything.
Exactly. Like I feel like that shit is like. I feel like it's just such propaganda that, like,
oh my god, we are the virus.
it's our fault. It's literally caused by the rich. It's caused by fucking rich people. That's what it is.
Oil magnates, all them guys.
Exactly.
All those guys.
Which, by the way, even if climate change wasn't a real thing, like, dude, fossil fuels are gonna run out eventually. Even if that wasn't a fucking thing, we literally wouldn't be able to do that forever anyway. That's the thing that I don't understand, man. Like, I need to fucking take all those people out by the back and just, like, you know, of mice and men.
Nah, the thing is, though, like, I do agree that, like, a lot of it is caused by them, but I think it'll take time. I mean, like, everyone always says it. I don't know why I'm being a little bit optimistic about it, but it's like, I think once a lot of things kind of take off.
I think there's cause to be optimistic about it, too. I won't. Don't blame yourself.
No, but what I'm saying is that, like, those industries, like, we do need them. Like, they are necessary, even though they are not exactly the most wholesome of fucking companies. Like, oil is never was and never is, but it is still necessary. Like, we need, like, energy companies such as that, but it's just like,
the Middle East needs those energy companies.
I don't know why. I thought I heard Middle East, and I was like,
I said it. I said it.
I know. And that's why in my head.
Come here, Roxanne.
It's my middle knee. I cannot say that without, like, fucking it up. Like,
Middle East. Okay, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it sounds like Milanese. Like, oh, I'm from Milan.
A whole new world.
You think Italians are still, like, the only people who, like, you know, they always ask each other, like, oh, where is that Scoobity Boobity? Where are you from? And then it's like, oh, I'm from Milan. It's, oh, I'm from Venice. Like, they, like, you know, because a lot of them still take that shit, like, real seriously. But, like, for Americans, it's, I guess, sort of the same way, too. Like, when you ask a guy, like, oh, where are you from? Like, because some people do say it with pride. It's like, oh, I'm from New York. Or it's like, from Minnesota.
My name's Brian. I'm from Ohio.
Yeah, I'm from bumfuck Montana. It's like,
oh God, Montana.
Yeah. I also wonder if it's like the same for Cubans too. It's like, oh, it's like, where are you from? It's like, that's like Havana, and like, because like that's the only fucking city that I know from Cuba. Like everywhere else, it's like all I've heard is like either pretty much still rural all around there.
I will tell you that I don't know. I don't even think about that too much because, like, I'll tell you one thing, man. Every stereotype that people will say about Cubans is fucking true. I'm just gonna go out here and say that, like, dude, without a single trace of doubt in my mind, y'all can directly quote me on this. They are the white people of Latins. Without a doubt. They ruin their steaks. They're fucking, like, stubborn to the core, especially when you get older. My 93-year-old grandmother downstairs is a living proof of that. She doesn't listen to any of the shit and still climbs the stairs when we fucking tell her not to. She's not gonna listen until she's in rehab with a broken hip. They're like that. My father is stubborn as fuck too. His father was stubborn as all fuck. And Dennis, if I become that stubborn, my ex-girlfriend was stubborn as all fuck. And if I ever become that stubborn as fuck, Dennis, we're going back to Of Mice and Men. I want you to take me out and tell me about all the pigs by the bay, and all the pigs that we're gonna own by the bay. FYI, everybody, I am Cuban, okay? So I can say this stuff. But I'm telling you, they really are like the fucking white people of Latins at the very least in terms of like their behavior. Especially considering the fact that, guess what? He was huge with Trump voters in the 2020 election down in Miami. And the reason, we've even talked about this on the show, is that Cubans fucking suffered under communism, under Castro, piece of shit dictator, rotting in hell right now. Probably, like, using the devil's ass to light his cigars.
I mean, he was a piece of shit dictator, but he was actually a very interesting person, though. If you
for sure. Like, no, he was.
Like,
he
as a guy,
was.
You know, as a politician and even being a country leader, he's a...
I will use your stale skin to rub my cigars! But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, like, those people fucking suffered under communism. I just imagined
you in Castro's costume and, like, you saying, I don't know why in my head. Like,
you want to think of some unique ways to kill yourself? Just walk down a street in Havana at night and yell "Viva Fidel" as loud as you can. If you're fucking just sick of life, like, you just want to, like, but you're too much of an intelligent person to, you know, want to actually go through with killing yourself. Take a look and just walk down a nice little street in Havana, the dark side of night, middle of the night, and just yell that shit as loud as you can.
I'm pretty sure they probably get shot even before he finishes the sentence. It's like,
people. She's just gonna say "Viva." What? I don't know what he's gonna yell. I mean,
nah, I think Cubans know though.
I guess, like, if you know, you know.
Cubans get dogged on like every other Latin American, like, period. Like,
yeah,
I think they're the second most dogged on, like, I guess, country next to Mexicans, because, like, Dominicans are just, like, their country is almost insignificant enough that, like, you almost forget that they even had a country. Like, I always remembered, like, Haiti's, like, almost right next to them, so it's kind of like, I always just thought, like, Haiti just had that whole fucking thing, but apparently, like, it's, like, kind of shared between the two of them, kind of like how other islands.
Yeah, don't even look at Brazil right now. I mean, you think, like, Trump, like, had a bad response to COVID. Holy fuck. Down there, like, their government were, like, legit, like, complete virus deniers and stuff, and...
Oh, yeah, from the top to the bottom, like, literally.
Yep.
Like,
definitely feel
so much.
Bolsonaro,
I think, was the guy's name. Yeah,
people,
he's a real piece of work. Actually,
he really is a piece of shit.
A lot of them Latin American presidents really are pieces of work, for real. Like, I've been actually watching that Netflix series Narcos, which is, like, basically about, like, the drug lords from, like, Latin America from, like, the 80s to 90s. And I'm watching the Mexican series now because I finished the Colombian one, and, like, the show has a very, I guess, it does not portray almost any of them, like, I guess, in a, like, obviously it goes without saying, like, in a positive light, like, but I almost feel sometimes whenever I watch that show that, because, like, these drug lords had a lot of connections, and a lot of them being with the government itself, and a lot of those guys within government were cashing in checks that they were getting from these very drug lords. And then for Mexico, it was just so corrupted, like, from the top to bottom, like, the whole fucking structure.
Still is, depending
and
on
it
where
still
you
is,
go.
yeah. Like the very fact that fucking El Chapo was able to fucking get out of prison in, like, 2014, I think, like, already tells you. And this was when he was still in Mexico. Like, he literally paid off guards and everything, and it's still such a shithole down there. And it's like for that reason that I kind of have a new, better understanding as to like why immigration had begun to basically ramp up around like the early 2010s, and it still is like, you know, a pretty high now, but it makes it gives it a lot more context now for me, like as to like, you know, why immigration was so high like back in the day to now. It's just because like things over there were just straight up just dog shit.
Yeah.
From government to even just everyday life, it's just fucking dog shit.
If you would like think like how like that would even impact other cultures like politically. I mean, to very quickly conclude what I was saying about Cubans, I mean, like to conclude my, you know, whole thing about them being the white people of Latins is that they
Wonder Bread Latins.
Yeah, they were huge with Trump. They were huge with Trump. Like Trump won Florida partially actually because of the Latin vote. And like because, you know, Cubans, they go to Miami a lot. It's very close to Cuba. And the reason being, and despite, you know, usually liberals being huge with Latin voters, it's because Cuban people fucking totally suffered under communism. And Donald Trump is the least communistic thing in the fucking universe. So,
in the recent U.S. history, for sure.
In the recent United States cinematic universe.
Yeah.
And so it makes me think, like...
It's not over yet.
Yeah. And it makes me think, like, what would, like, you know, you're talking about, like, the Mexicans now, like, how would that impact them politically? Because I remember hearing, like, one story around, like, halfway through, or maybe the beginning of the last year, or beginning of the pandemic, of the, literally the street gangs and, like, the drug cartels.
Yeah.
Supplying the citizens with masks. Like they were doing it. Like they were going out there and doing it. Like if that doesn't show you how much more power that they have
organized
than the
crime,
governments, like, and it makes you think, like, because what could the government even do? It's like they either can't or just won't deal with them. So sometimes they just wind up taking over in those places, and it is not typically for the better, I imagine. Probably.
Organized crime has like after I've been reading about it just a little bit, like not even just about like Latin America, but even like over in Japan with like gangs like the Yakuza or like organizations like the Yakuza. Like apparently I even
by the way, I think that game is like $5 on Steam right now. I heard that recently.
Yeah, summer sale, guys. Go get your shit.
Yeah, go play all those. Go buy all those games you're not gonna fucking play.
I'm actually guilty.
Dude, we all are, man.
I know.
We all are.
But going back to the Yakuza for a little bit, it's like I even apparently read up when the Fukushima reactor basically was like when the tsunami hit and everything, and like that whole community was just like the whole communities around that affected area were just basically gone. The ones, and it apparently I even found out that like the government response to the disaster apparently was just taking way too long. That Yakuza clans and organizations basically took it upon themselves to go and help out those very communities.
Really?
Sending out like aid trucks, like people literally just to help people get the fuck out of their houses. It was like, because down there when the tsunami hit, it was essentially kind of what happened to New Orleans. Like places that were not even above like one story, like were literally just straight up flooded. And like people were basically just trapped in their houses, or some people straight up died like because of it. And it's the ones who took action were these Yakuza clans like thing, and even other individuals that basically took matters into their own hands, and like people straight up like were legit running up their boats to houses and like calling up people, like, you know, and saying like, hey, like, is anyone in there, like, you know, saving as many people as they can. And it kind of just also goes to show you, and like Japan is a very bureaucratic based country as far as like them countries over in East Asia are, and like it's just so rigid with how they do things. Like they have a fucking rule for everything apparently. How like even how to basically conduct yourselves during a natural disaster. Like they even have rules for that and everything, and they have to follow them.
Oh my god, dude. We always joked about that, like when fucking King K. Rool was first announced for Smash Brothers. Right? Because like he was announced at like the end of a Smash Direct that already announced like 4 characters beforehand. Right? Okay. And it ended like Sakurai was saying like goodbye everybody, thank you for watching, but while he was doing it the screen was like shaking, right? Like with like foot like stomps, right? Like doom, 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 and like it was K. Rool. It was supposed to be like K. Rool walking or whatever that he was about to get announced, and we all joked that like it was like a fucking natural disaster that was just like happening outside like his window or something, like right at the end of like the recording. Like he was just gonna run outside, be like run to his window, be like, oh fuck. Just, like, we're back to the camera, like, all right, it's K. Rool. We don't have time to play the trailer. It's K. Rool. All right, bye. And then he just gets off in his Sakurai jetpack, right? and just flees over to a neighboring island.
You just hear like the fucking studios, just like the people in the studio, just like actually like mildly panicking. It's like, okay, everyone gets like, it's like, okay, we gotta get the fuck out of here. Like you hear it from like the distance, like somewhere, like in the background, like the director's like, all right, everyone, cut, get the fuck out of here. Everyone, we gotta get out, everyone out. We gotta move, we gotta go.
Quick, to the Sakurai escape pod.
And like Sakurai like grabs the camera just for one brief second. It's like, oh yeah, King K. Rool is actually out for Smash. Anyways, bye. And he just like fucking dips. And that goes down as like the best Smash Direct or Nintendo Direct like in Nintendo's history, like period. Just because like, you know, like earthquakes. Like I'd never been in one, and I think my sister's when she was living in California, like I think one did hit, but it wasn't really that crazy. But I know that California can get like pretty rough earthquakes over there, and like I would straight up just be scared shitless. Just let's say just chilling out in my room, right? Mm-hmm. And you just hear like the fucking tremors like hitting your house.
Very realistic simulation by Dennis.
Yeah, gotta make it immersive for the audience. Mm-hmm. Like, cause I bet most of us like have never even been in an earthquake before, and like again, I haven't been in one either. Like,
apparently there have been ones that are so minor in New Jersey that you literally don't even feel them.
Yeah, like we're not like really too much on like the tectonic plates apparently.
Jersey is like, go ahead.
Yeah, like, I mean, also like. As far as natural disasters go, like the worst thing that's hit us in recent memory is Hurricane Sandy. Truthfully speaking, like I don't think anything has really come too close to that.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, dude, we live in like one of the best areas in the world, like to avoid
East Coast.
natural disasters. Like the American Northeast. I'm telling you, dude. Like everywhere else, it is God punishing the sinners.
Yeah,
he is trying to wipe Florida off the map. He has been trying to do that for fucking forever at this point. California with their fucking vanity and their stupid dumbass like cargo shorts and like
I wear cargo shorts.
Their little glass fucking like stores and Apple stores everywhere, gentrified ass neighborhoods. Meanwhile, up here in the Northeast, there's a reason so many people flock up here. Yeah, because it's hot as balls in the summertime and just as fucking cold on the other end of the spectrum during the winter.
Yeah,
so.
We literally get hit by all four seasons. Like,
yeah, we really do. And I'm very grateful to have lived in a place where I could actually see each season. Imagine living in a place where it's just literally freezing year round.
Fucking Alaska.
Or hot as fuck.
Oh my god. I remember like I had not a friend, but I remember reading about like this one guy's like I guess experience of like living in Alaska, and I think he lived there for like at least a couple of years, and I don't remember where I read this, but apparently he said like the one thing he kind of took away from everything was how quiet it was up there, because it's not exactly the most populated state. One,
yeah,
there is more wilderness than there is people up there. Two, and three, it's
badass.
Like the communities around there, like everyone knows each other. It's like if you live around Jersey and you live in a pretty small town, like everyone kind of knows each other, right? But it's like over there, everyone within like a couple even towns over knows each other. Because they all congregate in the same fucking place anyways. And like not everyone lives in Aspen. So like everyone kind of just like sometimes lives around the like all those towns are straight up in the wilderness anyways. Like there's mountains, vast forests, and the winters, as you could imagine, are fucking brutal up there. Like, and you know, this is the reason why like I try not to complain too much about the snow that we get here, even though sometimes it does piss me off that like, you know, if like the few times when I was working that it actually snowed and I literally took fucking 3 hours to get home. Do you remember that freak snowstorm for like 2 years ago? I don't remember.
I got home from Montclair literally right before it went bad. Right before it got bad, because if I didn't, it would have taken me forever to get home. I knew a guy who was in his car. I knew a guy who was in his car for 12 hours.
Jesus fuck, dude.
Because the highways were like just fucking
it was bad,
horrible. Shout outs to almost former President Susan J. Cole of Montclair. You fucking dumb shit, bitch. Fucking asshole. You could have just closed the university early. Wouldn't have had people stranded and shit. But no, you live right there, don't you? Let your fucking staff go home.
She's also.
I hope you lose every fucking lawsuit.
She's actually also a Minnesotan. I actually heard from my professor.
Also, she can see Russia from her house.
Oh yeah, you can see it from here.
Palin. Sarah Palin, low key though. I mean, like, I as much of an idiot as she is, dude. She's pretty milfy, or like it was back when she was running for VP.
Would you say that it's only because of the not the Sarah Palin, fucking the Lisa Ann video that came out of her like a while back?
That is the first thing that comes to mind.
Helped.
But like honestly, like I think she herself was also kind of. I mean, Lisa Ann.
She's like soccer mom.
That was also Lisa Ann in her actual fucking prime. By the way,
did she get she got a titty reduction, right?
Yeah, because she does a lot more stuff with sports and ESPN and like sports podcasting and whatnot. She's very, very big into sports, and I thought that was what like her whole career path was going to change. But then like a couple of years ago, she went back to porn, and so now she kind of just does both, which is very interesting to say the least. It's like you don't normally see like another broadcasting type job that's sort of more like less taboo or normalized in mainstream media also be a porn star at the same time. It's very, very interesting. I'm pretty sure Mia Khalifa tried to do the same thing, but not to the same extent that Lisa Ann does. Like, Lisa Ann has like whole fucking books about like sports and basketball and shit. Like, she's really into that shit.
It's because also Lisa Ann she wasn't afraid about like telling people what she did and what she was before.
Facts.
Mia Khalifa straight up, like every time that someone even mentioned like her doing porn, like she'd always either not deny it, but it always looked as if like she always just kind of like either pretended as if it didn't happen or like tried to make it seem as if like she wished it didn't happen. Because here's the thing, and I know Mia Khalifa's never gonna watch this fucking podcast, but like I think I mean, maybe, who knows? But
what if she's trying to get back into porn and she's doing research, right? And she's trying to get ready, like, to get, like, double dicked on, right? Like, she's doing, like, a double blowjob scene, like a threesome with two dudes, and she searches up double D. And instead of, finding that kind of porn...
Yeah, she just sees two goobers fucking talking about, like,
she finds the double D experience, and she's like, wow, I need to fuck both of those guys.
Well, she's shit out of luck with me, so I guess.
I know. I'm just saying that's what would come to her mind. Same with Taylor Swift. If she listened to this podcast, she's just like, I'm in love with both of them.
But going back to Mia Khalifa, it's like, for her, like, there's so many
Taylor.
points. No,
like Dennis has a girlfriend, and I don't want to have my life ruined again.
And have a song written about it. But like, for her, it's like
Double D David is a fucking dick.
Lisa basically became the GOAT because she was unapologetic about everything that she did. There's so many other porn star females I'm talking about who basically they've gone on to do other things, and whenever people ask about it, they just say it like, yeah, I suck cock for money and I put it on film and for people to see, and they're completely unapologetic for it. But Mia, like, apparently I even also heard that, like, she said that the studios, like, and basically fucking porn studios are almost basically human trafficking. Like, they're borderline almost at this point.
That's why Pornhub even got rid of all their non-verified accounts, because some of them literally were. But
I'm also talking about like them bigger, like, kind of studios, like Brazzers, porn, like, on all of them. Like, they're borderline human trafficking at this point, and like, because they also get them like real young. Like, I've been seeing more younger stars too, like, coming out of the woodwork.
That shit is gross. There's like a fetish where they try to make them look like teenagers, and like there's like sometimes they have like braces, and it's like like God, that shit's revolting, man. Just another reason to be into MILFs instead.
Like, my favorite was this one star that I forgot her name, but like she went from being a non-MILF, because I watched it from years ago, and then she became a MILF like around recently. I was like, damn, she's that old now? Like in my head, I was like looking at it like, blah blah blah, MILF sucks cock, and I'm like, nah, you're not that old. And then I looked her up. She was like, apparently like past 35 is like MILF. I'm like, really?
That's typically the cutoff. I
know, but it's like whenever I think MILF, I think like 40 borderline 50,
I thought you were about to
but
start
still looks
listing
really
porn
good.
stars.
No. I mean, if you want me to, but like it's just like,
that's what I was doing in my head.
it's like that list is way too long. Because I even I remember stars from like fucking 20 years ago. Like not 20 years ago. I make it seem as if I'm a lot older than I am, but I was watching porn by 7 years old. No, like maybe from 10 years ago. Yeah, like because a lot of them now, like I told you, like they've become from just non-MILFs, which is like just regular shit, to like actually straight up MILFs, and I'm just kind of like, it still throws me off though. Is like what I'm getting at. Like
Sometimes you gotta do a double take.
Yeah, like literally, I had to like basically look her age up sometimes. Be like, oh, okay.
On Boobpedia.
Like, do you also just get like a fucking email like as soon as you hit your 35th birthday? Like if you're a female porn star, it's like, hey, you're gonna be classified as a MILF now on Pornhub and all that shit. All right, okay, all right. Like, you don't even get a say in it.
Attention, Mrs. Annex. With 3 X's. Annex. We have been
Mia Khalifa, you're a MILF now.
We have been informed by your recent birth certificate that you are in fact of the age of 35 and you have achieved prime MILF status. Please sign into your browser's account to set up a meeting to reclaim your MILF medallion.
MILF medallion? It's just like a gold 14-karat fucking medallion. Just says M on it. It's just got a
like,
big M.
Got like a little asterisk above it to like show that it's necessary. Like, this is necessary in order to rebrand your videos to fit MILF. If you want to continue being on these websites and pocketing very little money in lieu of the producers instead.
Yeah.
Love browsers.
Yeah. And it's no wonder that a lot of these female stars now are like kind of doing OnlyFans now. Because like that's money that basically, you know, a good chunk of it is theirs. And
not
just,
anymore.
Oh.
Did you hear about this?
No, I did not. Please.
It makes total sense that they're moving to OnlyFans, but you know what's trying to move away from OnlyFans? OnlyFans.
Explain.
They're saying that they actually want to start straying away from adult content. Because sponsors.
Hold on. Are you telling me that the people who made this site are basically saying we don't want to make money no more? This is their biggest moneymaker, arguably. And they're saying right now that we're gonna, or like at least, I don't know if they're saying, at least based off what you said, like they're trying to just pull the plug entirely, but it sounds as if they're gonna try to at least like gradually kind of steer away from this shit, or at the very least not give it attention and put that attention more towards other things in lieu of like, you know, other shit you can do with OnlyFans. Because like there are like other people who use OnlyFans for other things, but you know, non-porn related shit, but you know, no one gives a fuck about that because it's like all you hear about is like, check my OnlyFans. There's always just like, you know, a half naked girl or straight up naked girl.
I
like,
think celebrities who have them now and shit. Like there's a lot of people who do that. I think Cardi B. And also some other, I think some actresses where they post like lewd cosplays, but they never do nudes. What they do.
There's that one chick, the Catch Me Outside girl. She, as soon as she turned 18, like she I thought that was like a fucking genius business move, but like, damn, it made me think like
someone I know.
Like, God, like,
someone I know that I'm really close to once recently told me that they legit considered selling photos of their fucking feet, and I didn't. I told them please no for my sake. You could probably figure out who I mean by that, but
Dane.
Yeah, exactly. You got me. It's Dane.
No, it was.
I'm fucking cutting that one from the. I'm fucking cutting that from the podcast.
It was me. It was me. I was the one who messaged it.
Oh god, like it just goes to show you like how many like women are considering doing that kind of stuff. Don't even fucking blame them with how like shit is nowadays and how like unaffordable housing is and whatnot. They're gonna turn to this kind of stuff, and then you turn around and deem it immoral. That's whatever. You just don't have to like that kind of stuff. But real fucking shit.
Real talk.
Basically, they are saying they don't want no money no more. Because they apparently said they have said on record that they started OnlyFans to like for anybody at first. It wasn't even
exactly.
intended to be a porn thing at first, and then porn literally took it over. And because there are people who have OnlyFans that are literally just like content that you just have to pay for, but it's not sexual. It's literally just like their advanced content, sort of like their Patreon. Except now, it's
exactly. That's
just
what I was
the
thinking
porn
too.
thing. And they're apparently dipping out of that for the same reason that Twitch decided to move their hot tub streamers into their own category. Doesn't matter if that's what OnlyFans is popular for. Sponsors. Advertisers, they don't want to be associated with that shit. They still don't. That's the end all be all for this. And OnlyFans is probably setting to try to make more money in the long term because they receive only a 20% cut of the money that they make from every OnlyFans user, which I think is greedy as fuck. There's already a lot of money that they're already making off of that shit, like taking 20% from each user, and like there are a lot of top OnlyFans people, but they're trying to make even more, and they feel like they can do that from straying slowly away from porn and having just like premium content, like Patreon kind of stuff, be what's on there instead. And this is typically a bad thing no matter who you ask, because there are some people who are very scared for the sex workers that they're going to get kicked off the platform. And also, guess where they're going to go when that shit's gone?
Where are they gonna go, David?
Twitch.tv, my friends. That's the first fucking place that they're going to go. They'll get way more views there. They'll get way more notoriety there than on just like a typical
have their own
cam
category.
site. They literally do. They literally do have their own category at this point. So, if y'all had a problem with that kind of stuff being on Twitch before, and I'm not judging you if you do or you don't. That's where
get ready for a fucking deluge of that shit.
Like Twitch is literally on its way, dude. Yeah. It's on its fucking way, dude. And I'm happy about this personally, because fuck Twitch. I hate it. And I really hope that if there's any way that it could just die and not be the main esports platform anymore, I'd be hype as fuck about that.
This would also kind of give them, I mean, they already got bad press about, like, they still getting bad press about, like, the whole hot tub shit now. And it hasn't exactly gone away, per se. There's still people, like, complaining about it. I think they'll also be complaining about it to the high heavens anyways. Like, there's... Like, because there's always more people coming in, and like now even like, and not that I was ever discounting them, but like, now actually women streamers are actually coming out and like, making a beef about this whole thing, and
and they get called sexist for it.
Yeah, and for that reason, like, I almost think like it's like something's got to give. I feel, because I know that Twitch is making mad money off of this shit.
Yeah,
and it's also simple mathematics that like, if one fucking platform gets too expensive, because I could see OnlyFans maybe jacking up their cut maybe to like 25%. That's 5% more, but when people see that, usually if I'm getting charged more rent or more tax, they automatically just get turned off to the very idea that they were doing to begin with, because I don't want to be paying more money. And so them going to Twitch, I almost feel like is kind of, it's for Twitch, they're gonna see it, I guess, short term, that this is a good thing, we're getting more people on our platform, and plus they're women, so it's obviously just gonna generate even more traffic. Short term wise, I almost feel as if like that's how it's gonna be. Long term wise though, I almost feel, because I mean fucking that bitch, fuck her name, Amaranth, whatever the fuck her name is, like the dull ass looking bitch, like she got banned for a couple of days, right? And
I don't even know. I didn't know who either of those people were, but like Twitter was in an uproar when that shit happened.
She was the she's like the main. What's up?
There's another fucking Smash player that got banned for a week off of Twitch for like sexual content. Another Smash player, and do you want to know why? It's a he.
Okay.
But like it's because his in-game tag. Like, you know how like you set your in-game tag in Smash, like you could like set a name. His was Meatspin. So, like Meatspin said it's a meatspin.com, and Twitch banned him for a week for that, for sexual content, dude. Yeah. You can't fucking make this shit up, man. You just fucking can't. It's just the worst. I fucking hate it.
Was he like a big guy? Like
he's the number one melee player in the world.
Next to Mango.
Next to Mango.
Okay. All right.
Next to Mango right now. Mango's number 2 right now. Zane's number 1.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like, dude.
Come on. I mean, I'm not gonna go into again. I'm not gonna go into again about like how much.
Kids Google Meatspin after watching Zane on Twitch. What's the big deal?
It's not even that he had the N-word in his name either. That's like one thing, but
he
really
is Indian.
Even
So
worse
he
than
might-
like it's
he
like
might-
why of all things you fucking
might-
banned this guy over.
He might have
What
a
the
pass.
fuck? Like it's not like he called himself Curry Eater or whatever. It's like Jesus Christ.
I'm going to say the N-word.
Maurice, I'm going
Mauricio, I'm going to say the N-word, Mauricio.
I remember my brother, he actually showed me this one streamer who his audience are such little shits that like you know how like
for me, Maurice.
you know like how sometimes you could ask for audio requests from like your streamer.
Yeah.
Some guy basically started one time, and then basically his entire community started doing it. Like they just started sending him videos that just kept saying the N-word like
Right.
repeatedly. And I think he actually got no fault of his own because he didn't endorse it at all. But like, people were just doing it so much like constantly because it was just so funny to get a rise out of him. And like, and they range from like kind of creative to just like, oh, come on, really? Like, I mean, obviously like the N-word is not something you should just like fucking flagrantly just go around saying, of course.
Like you
but
just
it's
did?
like, yeah, but but I'm online, doesn't matter. Things online don't ever matter.
Well, so was Zane. And he didn't even
Yeah,
say
but Zane's got much more to lose. I got nothing to lose. Like, David, like, let me tell you something right now. Like, I am really glad that as of right now, our audience is this very intimate group. It's because that if I had to fucking basically answer for everything that I do on each episode to some fucking mouth breather on our YouTube comments, I probably would quit this podcast and just like
Aw.
basically no, not really.
That'd be
Like,
sad.
Not quit, but it's like it basically would kind of make me turned off to like the whole idea just a little bit, just
It's not-
because like what the fuck, like it's not happened yet, obviously, so I'm not gonna go off on it, but I'm just saying that if I had to answer to some fucking mouth breather for every time that I basically said something inappropriate on a fucking podcast that we basically say anything the fuck we want. I mean, David censors me for a couple stuff because like it's also his podcast too. So it's
I
his
literally
decision,
just
but, like,
I literally just fucking like slurs is the only thing I care about. We can be as offensive as we want. I just like I think that's where fucking shit gets a little different to me personally.
Fair enough. But that's why I'm saying that like answering to you is one thing because like I share this podcast with you.
Right.
Answering to some piece of shit behind a keyboard, like, and especially if it was an army of them, like, even if they did love us, but there was still, like, let's say, good chunk of people who basically, like, always trying to cancel me for some shit, like, go fuck yourselves.
Yeah,
fuck your mothers, too. Like,
well, I will say is that Dennis, I mean, I agree. I will never cater to SJWs, ever. Because if they had their way, the world would, like, have, like, no creativity. It would implode among itself. But at the same time, that's not going to, like, stop me from, like, I'm not going to go on the complete other end of the spectrum and just be as offensive as possible. Because there are people who aren't SJWs who have a right to be offended by literally just like slurs that are designed to be like against like them or their people.
I agree.
That's a different thing. Like, I'm not gonna say like, oh, I'm not gonna say this word or that word because like some SJW would be like, you can't say that ever. It's just because like I know like there are actual good-hearted people out there who would take that to heart and who would actually have the right to. And I think most things on the internet, if you see something, and most things, anything really, just turn it off. Like, you shouldn't, like, make a big fuss about it. Like, if you're offended by it, just turn it off. But I at least try to be a little more inclusive than that is all. Like, offensive jokes, I'm all fucking for them. Like I say, just actually, like... Context is important, and it comes to a different place when it just comes to actually just, like... using like slurs that specifically have a history of like what am I trying to say, belittling or like demonizing like a certain group of people. That's the only thing. And I never want you to feel stifled either when I do this. So I hate when I have to censor you. I feel bad. about it doing that, which is not, it's not as often as I fucking say. It's like,
No,
it's not
no,
as
no,
often
it's
as we joke about it. Like, it's not like I have to like get rid of 80% of this podcast because the whole thing was Dennis just like over and over and over,
saying the N-word like like over and over again.
Yeah, sound like my ex's mom. But
oh my gosh.
Yeah, take that up with her. Fuck, I was gonna. What was I gonna say? I think that pretty much hit the nail on the head. Was all. Like, I never want to pander to the SJWs because like they're the reason that the Democratic Party is as fucking frowned upon
backwards,
like by so many people as it is. Even Bill Maher said that, and I hate Bill Maher, but I wholeheartedly agreed with him, and I said, you guys need to clean your shit up and like actually fucking stop getting so fucking incredibly offended by everything because it's a bad look. It's really bad look.
The Dems nowadays, I mean, we got great people like fucking AOC, and she also takes it a couple things a little too far, sure, sometimes, but it's like the Dems we have today, like I'm talking like the really like extra progressive like fucking Dems, like they are not the Dems from like 20 years ago. Like that's for damn sure. And like the very fact that like 20 years ago like weed was demonized, and now everyone is saying that like it's trying to get legalized and like, you know, they're really pushing for it. That's like, you know, like already tells you like how much things have changed over the last 20 years in terms of the political spectrum and like what everyone kind of stands for. Because like it always changes every fucking decade. It's always some new fucking thing that everyone always kind of like, you know, stands for and say like we're gonna fight for this in Congress and fucking Senate. But like gay marriage, that was like the fucking big thing for a while, and then like, you know, eventually got passed and all that, but it's like, you know, that was like just another episode. Like there's still more shit down the pipeline that like I'm pretty sure like weed is like probably the first thing that they want to just get it over with and like get it done with. And that's going to take some time again, because, you know, all the states are not going to obviously just be like, oh yeah, we're just going to open up our fucking, you know, open up our dispensaries and shit and like just like sell weed on the streets. Because like, you know, that's also just like a fuck ton of money that they're like, you know, they have to like kind of dump in to like kind of even make work. And, you know, for like, I almost think like it's also for that reason that like, you know, at least back when the SJW movement was like kind of gaining traction, but it was still just a meme by that point, and it still is a meme, but like it's become a meme now, like, you know, like straight up flat out. It's not a strong presence as a lot of people kind of think it is, but like it's just this really condensed center of fucking mouth breathers who
it blurs the lines is what it does between like actual good honest people who like believe in like some of these sort of things and like have a right to be offended by certain things, and the fucking morons online who are offended by everything trying to like be justice warriors for everybody, you know. That line sort of gets blurred because like it can even be used against them. Like I remember a couple years ago when like there were people who were freaking out like saying Santa Claus should be a woman, and like the liberals like the liberals are pissed about this. But you want to know what that was? Wasn't even like a bunch of SJWs who were angry about that. Like that was a whole rumor that was started on 4chan, like to try to make it seem like it was a bunch of liberals who were upset about that because they knew that something like that was going to make them look absolutely ridiculous and turn people who are actually already leaning in that direction off from like the left-leaning aisle on purpose because of like some hypothetical extremist. It was complete hyperbole. See, that kind of stuff gets used against them because the line gets blurred because it makes you think how many people are actually offended by this. Are you just paying attention to the online group or paying attention to something else? Like, to continue what I'm saying, like, it's like they take something, they're sort of like the opposite end. They're sort of like the conspiracy theorist of the left, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? Like, conspiracy theorists will be all like, they have a tactic where they'll say one valid conspiracy theory, like, oh, Epstein didn't kill himself. And, like, people will be like, oh, wow, that's clear, that's obvious, that's definitely true. And then slowly try to segue them to get them to believe in, like, the lizard people. That's an actual tactic that some of them have. Like one guy tried to do that on the official podcast when he was a guest on there. And SJWs are sort of in that same boat. They'll say like, "Oh, you shouldn't say the N-word because it'll hurt a black person's feelings." And like, I think that's true. If you're not black, you shouldn't say that. To me personally, like if I feel like I have to work around not saying the word when I'm talking about the word, that in itself is like proof that I shouldn't joke about it. If I'm being honest, I have clips that I could show you of that, and it's sort of the same thing on their front because they'll say something like that. Oh, you shouldn't say that because it'll hurt like a black person's feelings, or you shouldn't say chink because it'll hurt an Asian person's feelings, you know. And then they'll slowly try to get people to join their side on that because they're like, oh, that's rational. But now that they're on their side, they try to take it further with that because they had made one rational point to sort of open the door for them, and now they're offended by everything. That's what I'm talking about. Like that's what I mean.
I do agree with you, and I almost just want to add that the people who also kind of hijack a lot of like the I guess kind of peripheral movements of like I guess the progressivism that we've seen in the last couple of years
don't actually care, right?
Don't actually care, and they're also usually like fucking basic ass white thoughts. What the fuck was that?
I accidentally hit something on my phone. Ignore that.
It's like always been historically white bitches.
Oh yeah.
Like they hijacked the fucking Black Lives Matter movement when George Floyd fucking got shot. Like not shot. When he died.
Yeah.
They hijacked that shit as well when that whole thing was basically at its high point. You know, every city, like almost every major city from New York to fucking California, like basically everyone was coming out in droves in protest and also like just to like march, you know?
Yeah.
Like almost like reminiscent of this almost the civil rights days. And with, you know, rioting in between there, but like my whole point was that like, you know, one thing that I saw, and it wasn't everybody, but it still at least just was enough to piss me off. It was seeing a lot of pictures and videos of these influencer cunts, like basically holding up, you know, those shitty signs, like saying, "I stand with George Floyd."
Bring
like,
back
you know,
our girls.
Yeah, like Black Lives Matter. All
most people who did that didn't even know what that hashtag was about, by the way. That's actually, look up the history of that hashtag.
That, and also even, I think even before that, a little bit the Paris bombings that happened like a couple years back. Remember when everyone fucking heard about that? Like everyone was putting a fucking tricolor flag over their shitty ass Facebook profile pic.
I think that's
no, but it got egregious though. It's like, it's one thing if you post something, right?
Yeah.
On your Facebook status, if you write that, you know, what happened over there was a tragedy. And, you know, hoobly-soo, like whatever, some sweet-ass words and whatever.
That's just marketing from Facebook. You know, they want to be like, we're the people who made this possible. We like start movements on Facebook. Make a Facebook today like it's a business.
But the fucking tricolor flag over your fucking profile pic. And then people were still having that shitty-ass fucking filter for 2 years after it fucking happened. It's like, unless you knew somebody, which I virtually think, like, unless you knew somebody who was there, a friend or whoever, who died during that.
You probably didn't.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're just there for fucking, like, you know, I don't know, what the fuck, clout, I guess what it was back in the day, even still. Like, that's what everyone was kind of, like, you know, always, like, trying to fucking get in whatever kind of communal network. Like, because by communal network, I mean, like, you know, Facebook's usually made up of, like, most people's Facebooks are made up of people who you know locally, you know? It's like every now and then you do have someone that you kind of know from like way out of state or whatever, but it's like most of the time it's usually when you were young and when you were in high school, it was people you were you were family with, school, some friends of yours, and then maybe if you were cool with them after high school, your teachers. That was who was made up of your fucking Facebook for the most part. And literally I remember like even after the Paris bombings, like it's like, you know, I thought what happened was a tragedy. Like, that shit was basically reminiscent of, like, 9/11. Like, you know, like, no building fucking collapsed or whatever, but it was like, you know, it was a terrorist attack on a sovereign country.
I'll do you one better. Do you remember, Actually, go on. We can conclude your thought. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's all right. I just want to conclude on the fact that, like, you know, I still think, like, that shit, you know, like, people love to feel as if they're a part of something. And, like, I fucking get that. Like, sports teams already kind of give me that vibe. Mm-hmm. And, like, you know, and if the thing is, though, too, if, like, you do, like, if you grew up in the city or whatever, and, like, maybe if you were young and you watched a lot of games, that's one thing. I don't care. You know, like, if you really, like, I used to think, like, a lot of people who did all that kind of shit were kind of, like, borderline mouth breathers because it's just kind of, like, you know, but it's also no different to, like, how a lot of people fucking root for esports teams, like, people my age and shit. So it's like, you know, it's really no different now that I think about it. It's like the same rabid dumbass fans like thing who kind of like sometimes do take it too far. And they're the ones who just quietly enjoy it. There's always like those two types of people. And I'm just saying it goes both ways. And I think, you know, it's that whole like wanting to be a part of something. Like it's like the fucking, like there's some people who really do want to make a difference. There's not too many of them, but they do exist. And they're the ones who want to cash in on it. I'm not even just talking about like big corpos and shit. Like I'm talking about like people, everyday people like us, like fucking basically influencers who just like love to basically go around saying like, oh yeah, I was there. It's like, what'd you do?
Influencers are the top 5 worst human beings on the fucking face of the planet. And there's so many people who are just fucking trying to be one nowadays.
And here's the thing though too. I think there are a couple of good ones. Couple of them. There's always the good and bad of any fucking group. Even politics. And even for influencers, like, you know, I'm sure there are good ones that do exist. These aren't the ones who, like, basically take advantage of their position, quote unquote, and, like, demand free shit because it's like, I'm giving you free publicity and all that, whatever the fuck. But it's basically technically not free if you're asking for free food and whatever like, you know, whatever else. But, you know, I'm sure there are good ones exist, but it's like, you know, to David's point, it's true. I'd have to say maybe 90% of these motherfuckers are basically scumbags, and like if I knew one as a friend, I'd probably make fun of him like relentlessly.
Yeah, it's like dude, I'll do you one better.
Go ahead. I'm done. Yeah, go ahead.
You remember another one of these things? Another one of these hashtags that went around, these stories that blew the fuck up out of proportion for no reason?
Tell me.
Do you remember Joseph Kony?
Oh yeah, wasn't
remember
he
that shit back in 2012?
That black dude in the jungle, right?
Yep. Is the dude from I do believe he was that's where he was from. He was from Uganda. I was just trying to think of what country it was. He was from
the child soldier guy, right?
Yes, it was a guy who had like a bunch of child soldiers. He's known globally as Joseph Kony, and it was in order to have him something arrested by the end of 2012 or something like that, and everybody was like spreading around. It's like, oh my god, we need to stop this guy over and over. It was just something to sort of blow up, and do you know why? Because when they made that, the dude had already not operated in Uganda for like years at that point. It would be like if like I made like a fucking like release video out now, like on my YouTube channel, like, oh my god, this Hitler guy, somebody should stop him. Like, what are you doing? It's like it was old news, and then everybody was blowing up using hashtags, changing their profile pictures, trying to make like internet blackout days, and I'm like, dude, this isn't a new thing. Like, I'm pretty sure this guy's dead now.
This guy's old news. Like, I mean, he was basically a non-entity up to that point.
My God.
And the thing is, though, like, there's still shit going on within a lot of those African countries.
Yeah, of course. Like, Uganda literally has, like, I mean, literally fucking, what is it? Chick-fil-A literally has a huge donation thing where, like, a lot of their profits actually go towards, I think, it was either the Ugandan government or some group in Uganda that executes gay people. Look it up. Look it up. It's literally a real thing. If you're still fucking eating at Chick-fil-A.
As if I needed another reason to hate Chick-fil-A. I mean, I think for a lot of people, they probably don't even know this, and they just eat Chick-fil-A. So it's like, for those people who live in ignorance, it's like, I can't help but like just be like, okay, whatever, eat your shitty ass chicken sandwiches. But
dude, everybody's just trying to like cash in on that train, even if they're not big influencers. There was just one idiot who like replied to like one of my tweets. Like, she's like notorious for like being one of those people who tries to like fix, quote unquote, the Smash community, and in reality is just doing it for like some dumb vain reasons, or is just going about it the wrong way. I was talking with this other girl. We were talking about Twitch on like on my Twitter and whatnot, and I was telling her about like this one woman who literally pulled her like cheeks apart and like so far wide and like pulled her like pussy lips apart to the point where you could literally see her cervix, and she didn't get banned. I forgot what streamer it was. And then like this woman just comes out of nowhere and she's just like, I think it's a little concerning how you think a woman's cervix is in her ass. And I'm like, I didn't say that. I said she pulled her cheeks apart. I didn't say the cervix is inside the ass, but that's literally twitter.com in a nutshell. People will deliberately misinterpret what you read. And she quote retweeted.
But
she literally quote retweeted me too, by the way, to try to make me like, to try to out me as like a virgin. And I'm like, I'm not even a fucking you don't even fucking know me, bitch. Like, who are you?
These mouth breathers also just always
literally just clout.
To kind of, they also
anything
don't ever like focus on the actual issue or like what you said.
That's what I'm
always
saying.
Have to twist it in a way.
Fucking always care. If you're just on Twitter all the time, just fucking making fun of people for
artificial
like, shit that you
outrage.
think is, like,
okay,
exactly. Like, do you
I
actually
always
care?
Will say it.
You could be out here actually doing this shit for your cause, which you probably donate a little money to, and then call it a day. But then you actually think, when you're actually fucking replying to somebody or quote retweeting somebody for anybody on Twitter, actually think to yourself, am I actually making a difference by doing this? Or do I just want to feel better about myself? Yeah. For whatever fucking reason. You have like daddy issues all the way up to the fucking bank, bitch. Like, quote retweeting me on your fucking Twitter timeline is not going to make him come back. It's not going to take away any of that shit that happened to you or that, like, any bad things that you did. It's not going to make this community hate you any fucking less than they do now, all right? Like, literally, like, I was just even, like, I was casually trying to explain myself to her, too. I'm like, that's not what I think. And
that's what you got to do,
I said it was a poor choice of wording, like, to pull her ass cheeks apart. Obviously, the vagina is not in the ass. It's a little lower than that. I should have said pussy lips, but I didn't want to be rude, I guess. But then
you should have just said
no,
it,
I did. Then I corrected myself afterwards, and I just fucking muted the thread because I'm like, this isn't worth my time. But I imagine that she probably didn't listen to that either, because there are people who like literally just go online to try to pick fights with people. And I just want you to know, if that happens to any of you, it definitely happens to young kids more often than not, because they're more prone to that kind of stuff. They have more to learn. Just mute it and move on. Or block the person and move on. It's always worth it. It's never worth it to, like, engage with those kinds of people.
Unless it's Xbox Live.
Yeah,
and you curse the motherfucker out and tell him that I'm gonna fuck his family and fuck his mother right in front of him. Unless it's Xbox Live.
That's kind of gay.
It's also, like, you know, like, what happened to those days, right? It makes me feel like such a boomer now, but it's like, you know, when you could basically curse someone out
What
online.
happened to Modern Warfare 2?
Like, what happened to Xbox Live Halo 3 2 days? Like, when you could just basically curse a motherfucker out, send him a video or, like, an audio clip saying that I'm gonna fuck your family.
It was usually, like, 12 audio clips because they were, like, they could only have them, like, be a certain length. So it would, like, cut off their rant every, like, fucking, like, 12 seconds. Fucking shit was incredible. It's like, dude, just fucking get good at COD, you fucking bitch. Stop calling me like the N-word and stop calling me all this shit. Just fucking get good at the game.
The outrage from back in those days, that's the thing compared to now. That shit was genuine.
Dude,
you cannot say
much worse back then.
I know, but that's the thing though. That's what I mean. Like, that was straight up honest, keyword honest, anger and emotion coming out of an individual saying that I'm gonna fuck your family or like any other fucked up shit in the world. Dude. Compared to now, where it's like people, it's one thing to get, I guess, angry over a video game, but you see the difference in anger where people online on Twitter, they cry more than be angry. Do you know what I mean? And that's also just like, again, artificial fucking outrage compared to, like, that's the thing. As stupid as online video game rage is, it's still pretty funny.
It's like, incredible, dude.
It's the most honest fucking reaction I've ever seen from a human being.
It can express a certain dark side of them for sure. Like, I have a friend, he's like a bit of a troll, but mostly like a deep down, a really genuine guy. Let me tell you something, right? I gave him my old Blizzard account that he eventually switched to his email, right? But before he did it, oh boy, he's big on the Overwatch pubs.
You mean
it would be funny as fuck since he was using my account as a burner account, right? Since I wasn't playing Overwatch anymore, and that's all I used my Battle.net account for at the time. Oh my god. I would periodically get emails.
You told me about this guy.
That were like fucking warnings. Like that, like were fucking warnings, or that I was telling me that I was banned for a couple of days, and like be like, oh, you've said a certain thing, you said this word or whatever that was on here, and like you've been reported on fucking Overwatch a couple of times, telling me that I got banned from Overwatch for a certain amount of days, and I would see those emails and I would just laugh my fucking ass off because I'd be like, God damn, Arlon.
It's like, what did you do? What did you do this time?
Oh, like Arlon. I would literally hit him up. I'm like, dude, what slur did you say? I would hit him up, and the best part is that I was talking with him last night. He's like, "Oh, David, that account, it's perma now, fucking perma banned." And like, it's a good thing that he switched that back to his email when he did, because then I wouldn't be able to play Cold War. And all because of this guy. And I would have been pissed. But yeah, it was just so funny seeing those emails, because like it wasn't me. I'm just like, oh, looks like Arlon's being racist again. Fuck.
And here's the thing though too. I also think with the sort of community that Overwatch likes to portray itself as, it would have never lasted during the early 2010
days.
The
world could always use more heroes.
I'm
a lesbian.
Like Overwatch, like I almost got annoyed at one point because I was playing a game.
I like pussy. I do.
I want that purple French chick's pussy. You know what I mean?
I want that purple French chick's pussy, dude. Fucking what's her name?
Widowmaker.
Yeah. Widowmaker, widower, whatever. The purple French bitch. Like you can, I'm into that. You can, like we can watch Barney anytime. You know what I'm saying? Like
Should probably be like kiss ka fuck.
Dude, the funniest one was May, because it's just like, well, you don't know what she looks like underneath that coat.
I think we kind of do, you know what I mean?
Dude, Overwatch porn, I think, was like literally a genre on fucking Pornhub for a while.
Overwatch would have never lasted without that porn.
Honestly, facts.
I'm being dead ass with it. Like I dead ass feel like that game was good. It was fine. It was.
The porn was better than the game. Real talk. Also, I'm also not kidding. I'm also legitimately not kidding. Like, I'd rather, like, I'd get, like, more of my money's worth getting my fucking rocks off than playing a TF2 clone.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And here's the thing, though, too. Overwatch porn, probably better than TF2 porn, so it's got to be there as well, so, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't want to see heavy, I don't want to see heavy fucking Scout, like, with his big 40-inch cock.
I was about to say, like, that's the biggest flaw of TF2. That game is the fucking biggest sausage fest. There's literally, like, 2 female characters, and one of them is literally, I mean, they're both literally, like, never in-game.
Scout's mom.
They don't have any, no, not even Scout's mom. That's a third one, actually, Miss Pauling.
Oh.
It was Miss Pauling and the administrator. It was like that character is based off of Helen Mirren, the announcer of that game. Yeah, and then also Scout's mom. I forgot about her. Dude, it's so funny. Nathan Vetterlein, right? He's the voice actor for the Scout. He plays TF2. He's an avid player of the game.
Okay.
And he does stuff every now and again where he like pub stomp servers like and go on voice chat as the Scout.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's fucking so funny. Like he would go.
That's great.
Like, he found a guy with the tag Mom. He was like, "Oh, Mom, oh, Mom, it's you." Yeah, it's good to see you, Ma. I didn't expect to see you here. And he just like talked to like the random person who's just tagged his Steam name as Mom. He'd be like, "Mom, where's Dad?
Mom, you're not fucking that Scout, that spy again, are you?"
Where's Dad?
Look, your dad's over there. And your dad's over there. She just points to the spy.
I love how that shit wound up being canon.
That was actually like a great twist. Like that's also like
it was huge.
Like, TF2 lore. There a lot of that shit. It goes beyond the game.
Yeah, it really
like,
does.
You got to read the comics and you got to read the wiki to kind of understand like the whole backstory if you're interested in that sort of thing.
Yeah, it low-key has the best story of any Valve game, and frankly, I think of most shooters. If I'm being honest, it like its lore is so like outlandish. Well, Half-Life is a campaign.
Yeah, but
it's a campaign-based game. I'm talking about multiplayer FPSs.
Oh, okay, multiplayer.
Yeah. I'm talking about multiplayer shooters. Obviously, like stories with dedicated campaigns probably have better stories because they're about the story.
Goes without saying. You know?
But literally, that game was just about a bunch of guys shooting each other in the desert, and they're just like, you know what? Let's have a reason for all these random guys shooting each other in the desert.
Let's put some context in these motherfuckers.
Pretty much, yeah.
And going back to Overwatch real quick.
I literally have a portrait of the Scout in my room, by the way.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I do. I'm actually looking at it right now. It's above my mic.
Salutes. But one thing that I wanted to say about the Overwatch community, I guess, is like, I don't like, and here's the thing, this is keyword to it, I don't like how it wants to portray itself as a very positive community. Because here's the thing, and it's a demon that all game communities have to fucking grapple with, and I think some basically say that, you know, it is what it is, because it's not as it once was, where like when, you know, in the Halo and the COD community, like everyone just cursed each other out.
Yeah. Like
unapologetically either. Like they just, without any remorse, just basically destroyed each other verbally, and also on the game too. But for Overwatch, it's like I kind of don't really like it. Almost like this makes it sound as if like I hate happy game communities, like positive game communities. It's not that. It's just that like I don't like that they just love to portray themselves as this shining example, because I remember like when Overwatch first came out, like the toxicity has not gone away, because even though like the devs basically tried to not really moderate it too much, but like kind of keep it a real safe space sort of environment, like that I almost feel as if people even doubled down on the toxicity even after that. because like people were reporting players, like he said this word and whatever, like your friend, you know, who got fucking perma like on that account. Like I really don't like. I think game communities have to kind of accept the duality of it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, yes, it can be like a happy community. There are plenty of like, you know, spaces where like Reddit and such, like they got their own subreddits. A lot of these game communities where like you could go and talk and converse. But you know, general chat on Overwatch is not where you go to converse with people and think you're gonna have a productive fucking conversation.
Yeah.
People are gonna like basically are gonna just call you every word in the book. They're gonna say how bad you are at the game and you should probably kill yourself. Like I still see that on Overwatch, and I'm kind of like, I'm gonna be real careful with this. I'm kind of glad that they still do, because that's what game communities and even online battlegrounds like that are. That's what they are. It's literally where people fucking go to like curse each other out, like if you know they've been having like either a rough day or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, dude, they're probably talking about their boss when they say it to you.
Yeah,
you know,
it's just a lot of projection,
steam,
a lot of external driven projection that like, you know, they're kind of putting out there, because, you know, again, I'm not saying that like, you know, I don't want a happy community. I'm just saying though, like I don't like communities that like to portray themselves as only that, because that's a lie already right there. Every any online game you've played, from League of Legends to fucking Dota and even Overwatch and TF2, CSGO, like CSGO never tries. That's what I like about CSGO. CSGO never tries to kind of portray itself as this positive, happy playground. People are literally yelling at each other in that game.
They get in each other's fucking faces.
Yeah, it's like, how the fuck did you fucking mess that shot up? You fucking retard. You fuck this and that. Like thing. And, you know, again, it also depends on how competitive it is.
I'm personally not a fan of when people get in their faces like that. I think that exudes big, small dick energy. But go ahead.
No, like, I do agree with that. But I'm also saying, though, like, it's just all in the community. Like, stop trying to fucking portray yourselves as this, like, you know, bastion of positivity. You're not. I'm sorry. Even though, like, some communities are a little bit better than others. But it's also, like, you know, you can't, like, that's like one thing that I would never censor from people. You know what I mean? Like people's interactions online. They even fucking say on the ESRB that these are not rated for a reason. And it's for that reason I also feel that like it should just be kept the way it is. Don't fucking censor people on those environments.
I feel like that's the only organization that realizes that you can't really completely control what people say online. I know people say like they want like those environments to change, but it's like it's the internet, dude. Like we're not saying this because like we like Dennis is saying, like I'm gonna echo what he said. It's not even just because like we don't want the communities to be like more happier and inclusive places. It's just because it's the internet. Besides banning people for like being genuinely awful, it's like we can't do anything more than that to just fucking change that, because it's the actual internet. Like Twitch chats, we can moderate Twitch chats and get rid of like racist shit in there or like hateful shit and whatnot, but like the thing is, it's like that's all you can do. That is literally all you can do. If you want more than that, then that's not
1984
shit. I
shit.
was gonna say that's not a gaming problem. That's you just want to change the world and change.
That's a society problem at that
hearts
point.
And minds and shit. Like trolls can be anybody, my friend. Like that woman who has like a PhD or whatnot who like roasted me for apparently thinking that like women like
I have a PhD in women's studies
inside their fucking assholes. It's like I know a lot about women. Okay, don't even talk to me. Okay, like I know women loved to be massaged on their open eyeballs. I know they love to get
licked on their open eyeballs.
Exactly. I know they like to have like shiatsu massages right directly into their face. I know they like that a lot.
Everyone knows that women love to have balls dangling right on top of their eyeballs.
Yeah,
everyone knows that.
I know that they like to have like specifically the left nut of a man insert and uninsert his left nut inside of their assholes. I know what women like. Okay, don't make fun of me.
You ever get sad that one of your balls
not a virgin.
like one of your balls is just droopier than the other?
I mean, that's normal. You should actually
I know, but I'm like so OCD with like that. I'm just like, why can't my balls be even? Like just like I just want them, just tight and symmetrical.
Dude, I'm surprised that wasn't me when I was young, because I was incredibly obsessive compulsive. I always had to step before a crack on my left foot. or like do it 4 times before
Damn,
I walked
bro.
over a thing. Like, it was pretty bad.
You had it bad.
I still have like some semblances of that every now and again, but I'm an adult and I know how to fight it. So like it's completely like in the
You kind of
recesses
grew out
of
of
my
it,
mind now. But I gotta be real with you, Dennis. I definitely never had a problem with my nutsack being uneven.
I don't know, man.
Level
Sometimes
with you there.
Sometimes I'm pissing. I'm just like, man, why is my nuts like? Sometimes it's also real hot, so my
Look.
balls do droop.
Oh,
You know, it does
same,
like
bro.
kind of does sag, but it's just like, why can't y'all sag evenly? Why can't we have testicular equality up in this piece? Like, please.
I'll never forget.
I want things to be equal from left to right.
I'll never fucking forget. A lot of people want that. I'll never forget, but like in the different sense. I'll never forget when I opened up this thing, like, and like your camera was on, and I thought you looked dead at you looked naked.
Oh yeah,
even though you were in your boxes.
I saw that feed, and I was just kind of like, and then after you said it, like I kind of thought back to it. I was like, you know, there really wasn't a piece of clothing at all. Like,
no, there really wasn't. You were in your boxers, but like the whole lower half of yourself wasn't on screen. I'm like, is he fucking naked right now?
I was like Roman patrician, like lying down on my side, nearly like on my chair, like, and it like just showed my naked leg and my naked torso. But you know, obviously, I was wearing boxers. I don't fucking go commando recording this podcast.
We might have to do that soon.
Oh. I mean, yeah, considering how hot it fucking is right now, Jesus Christ.
It'll be winter time eventually again, Dennis, and then it'll be nice and cool up in here. But
I'm still naked even during the winter.
Nice.
Like, I don't know. I just
walk outside, say hi to the neighbors. Ah, hello, Mr. Smith.
Like, I like the cold like that. I still get shit from my girlfriend. It's like, how do you love the cold like that?
Just throws a snowball like at your cock.
Yeah, it's like probably like just shoves a snowball down my boxers. It's like, yeah, you like that, and I'm just like, oh, I'm literally like, I'm just like,
good one, babe.
I'm like coming. It's like,
oh god,
put more snow in there.
Ooh, I don't know. Nobody wants their dick to be cold. That's the...
I always like found that one thing where like people rub an ice cube on like a naked person's like back. Like I love the cold. But I don't love the cold in that way.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, that's just something about it, too. Because, like, it's just so uncomfortable. Like, that goes without saying, obviously. But it's just like, you know, just feeling like that one concentrated piece of cold on your body. Like, the thing is, like, I did an ice bath once. And I thought it was fine. Like, I was able to do it for, like, a good minute or two, and, like, I thought it was, like, okay, it ain't the worst thing. Like, it was discomforting, like, for a little bit, but, like, I was able to deal with that more than a fucking single ice cube on my body. Which kind of threw me off, because it's, like, you know, like, I thought the other thing would be way more discomforting. I mean, because you're not supposed to be in there for that long, first off, okay? Like, you're not supposed to be in the ice bath for like a fucking 10 minutes or whatever. Like, you're supposed to just kind of like dip in, let it soak in you for a bit, and then get the fuck out. Like, I even take cold showers still, like, you know, and I fucking hate them, but, you know, sometimes, like, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah,
but,
I've never wanted to do those personally.
Yeah.
I gotta say, yeah, I don't want to. I wouldn't want to do that personally. I mean, I don't like when showers are too hot. That just makes me sweat, and I'm like, not a sauna guy. I guess maybe I'll do it again one day. Who knows? Or I'll try an actual sauna. I'm also kind of claustrophobic, so I don't like the idea of being like locked in a steam room.
With like some fat fuck like on the other side.
Yeah, I was like surrounded by women. It's a different story, but like I have to be in there with the dudes. I'm like, ugh.
It's like his name's Philip. It's like,
hey, what's up,
He's
Philip?
like,
just
he
drops his fucking towel like it's no problem. I'm like, God damn it, Philip.
Fucking going Long John Silver. It's just like, he's like stretching his calves. Like, I'm like, just.
Let's see, like elderly man's droopy, dangly balls. Like, I don't want none of that. I mean, it's not even an envy thing. Which, speaking of which, this whole discussion about like, you know, society and, you know, like Xbox Live, it kind of makes me think of like penis envy. And the reason it makes me think of that is because I saw on Mango's stream recently, he's like, he said on his stream, it's like, all right, you haven't lived until you Google the average penis size per country. So to conclude our show tonight, ladies and gentlemen, if to Dennis's approval, I think we should do that. Dennis, what do you say?
Well, right now?
Yes.
All right, send that shit to me then.
Well, I'm not gonna. We don't. What's the need of even send? We could screen share. I guess.
Oh yeah, that's right. 2021 technology.
Mm-hmm.
How could you forget?
Or I could just Google it and I could read it to you, but it doesn't matter. All right. So, what country I wish we were live. We could do a little poll. What country are we doing first?
All right, let's just do the U.S. since like we're that's what we're at.
All right, good idea.
Average penis.
Whoa! What the hell just happened? My E key like stuck. It doesn't normally do that. I don't even jack off at this computer. What the fuck?
David, I think it's time to clean your keyboard, my friend.
I guess, yeah. I actually need a new one. I've used this one for like 7 years now.
Fucking A. All right.
Based on previous studies about the distributions of penis length and circumference, the average American erect penis length was estimated at 6 inches. Wow. And circumference at 5. That's interesting. That's actually a little bigger than I thought the average size of Americans were, but I always thought it would be relatively middle of the pack, and that does seem pretty middle of the pack, 6 inches as far as it goes.
Yeah, 5,
circumference
6,
of 5? Wow. Not bad.
I think it's also easy. Like, I think if you have, let's say, that length, like let's say 5 or 6, right? But he had a really like soda can dick.
Yeah.
Like, like I'm not talking Arizona can, I'm just talking like maybe regular like Coke can, regular Coke can.
Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper cans up the cooter.
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah. I think like, because I think length is like obviously one thing, but
I don't
it's
even
like
have a vagina, and that shit's making me scared.
Like just guys, like, just think about it. Coke can dick.
Do you have a Coke tattoo on your dick? Like, yeah, it's my favorite drink. I thought, other women in my life have told me that, my cock kind of has the circumference of a can of soda, and I really love Coke, so I thought I'd go the extra distance. It still hurts. I got this tattoo like 11 years ago. It still really fucking hurts. It hurts when I pee.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like it hurts to piss.
And when I have sex, it's awful. 6 inches though. Wow. Okay.
I'd even say more, probably generously, 5.5 or 5. 5 to 6 length, and then circumference, 5 or 6, it's around there.
And this is like hard dick, by the way. We're not talking like soft. You have a soft 6-incher, that's a whole...
Yeah, you're on Easy Street. You're on Easy Street. Like, let's be real, all right? Like,
and speaking of which...
You're on fucking Easy Street, bro.
Speaking of which, what country are we doing next?
Let's do probably the next most masculine country out there, Russia.
Oh, Russia. That's a good one. Wasn't even going to think of that. Was the average penis length of Russia? What? Oh, it just says centimeters. Oh.
Whoa. Yeah, David, you got a little too American there.
Oh my God. I thought that shit said fucking inches. I was going to be like, what the fuck? Oh.
This just in, Russians are the most desirable men in the world.
Jesus Christ. I was going to say, it says 13.21, and I thought it was inches for a second. It's centimeters. Oh, fuck.
13.21.
I was about to say, what the shit? Just everybody in Russia just like, it's like fucking like...
This anaconda dick, like just down the pants, like all the time. Like every time they just put their jeans on, it's just like this noticeable bulge on their thigh.
Makes sense, bro. They fucking wrestle bears. I mean, that's bigger balls more than anything else. So hold on, let me do this real quick. Centimeters to inches.
Yeah, 13 point something, right?
Yeah, 13.21. Oh, that's like that's actually 5.2. That's less than America.
Same as around here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little less than America. I thought that was inches, bro. I was gonna lose my shit. I was like, what? No fucking way. All right, this is just the one that's on my mind. I'm gonna go with France. 15.7. Yeah, these fuckers use the metric system. I can't tell. So 15.74. That might be 6 to 7.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So 15.7.
Yeah, already 5.9. Right there you go.
6.1. Wow.
Or 6.2, I guess you just rounded up.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So they're
Frenchies.
They're French are bigger than America.
I give them the baguette.
I was about to say. I guess that orgy that we talked about a couple months ago
was warranted.
It was definitely warranted. I guess. Wow.
Okay, now
Sacre bleu.
For the next ones, English people. From England.
From England. All right, let's figure this one out for you guys real quick. This is the gayest thing we've ever done.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
so
probably.
far.
I don't know. I thought this is funny, but it's not as funny as I thought it would be. Like when I was watching this on Mango stream, he's just like, "Wow, that sounds funny as fuck. We should do that on our podcast." Oh, that says flaccid. It says the average length in the UK when flaccid is 3.7, but it's normal for them to be shorter or longer than this. Well, what about erect? That's what I'm trying to figure out right now.
I want to put what is the average length of England erect? Maybe you gotta add the search parameters. I don't know.
Am I getting put on a list? Right.
How the fuck would you get? Why would you get put on a list for this?
What is the average erect penis length of England? Oh, here we go. That actually worked. I said the average length when flaccid, but it's no average erect penis length. Ooh, 5.1.
When soft and gently.
No, 5.1 when hot. Oh no, I know people in fucking. I have friends across the pond. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, that's it. That's not small. I mean, that's average, but
yeah,
it's not as big as apparently the fucking French.
Yeah, but you know, here's the thing though too. Like, this is how like cavemen dudes are, and I actually kind of love it and also hate it at the same time. It's like we're the only ones who, like, if we cared about it enough, we'd be like, "Hey, yo, whip out your dick. I want to see like how big it is compared to." It's like I have like a dick, literally a dick measuring contest. Like some guy's gonna come out with the ruler. It's like, all right. We're gonna measure this shit.
Like in fucking Step Brothers, like, oh bro, like 2.5, exactly the same, and then they high five. I'm scared to hit enter on this one. I put Korea.
Go ahead.
In a penis size survey, US ranks 11th, just behind Japan.
Oh fuck!
What?
Damn.
Oh, Japan are packing. Oh my!
Just a bit more. Just a bit more.
Oh my whole! Oh, it actually is not even saying it here. Erect penis size of Korean man. Vernology. Search informant.
I love how a country that like most people don't even know about, Ecuador, is like the leading within erect length of fucking dick.
Wow. 70.61. I kind of want to do the same thing later on, maybe in another podcast, but for titties. I want to do the same thing for like breasts. Right. I think that would be definitely very interesting because I feel like that shit just completely varies by culture. I feel like that doesn't matter too much. You know, I feel like breasts don't work the same way as dicks. You know, they're a little more beautiful and buoyant, and you know, otherwise.
I'm probably really wrong about this, but I also feel like compared to the two, let's say titties or dick, I think. I mean, I could be wrong, okay? Like I said, we don't deal with facts on this fucking show. But I think compared to the two, titties are something that you can kind of nutritionally,
5.3 inches, by the way, for Korea. 5.3.
Hey, okay.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. No. Like, I feel bad for any country that's below average.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
I'm nothing against whatever the fuck you
dude.
That's
apparently that's
like,
more than the fucking. Apparently that's more than fucking England. I don't know how like up to date this.
Fuck you, England.
I don't know how up to date this information is.
Tea drinking.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's the tea.
Jump on this kimchi dick pieces of shit.
What you just said there is why I decided to do this.
It's so fucking funny though.
Oh god, maybe it's the tea. Maybe it's something there. I don't know.
Maybe everyone that was just like, you know, doing all the imperialist shit back in the day just all had
tiny dicks. I have
maybe.
small dick. It's really fucking small.
And
you
your
need
country's
a microscope to see it. And my dick is really fucking big. Yes, it is real big. Is my cock. Dun, 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 dun.
You just see like that one German from 1939 just
ooh, that's the next one on the list here. Germany.
Alemania, baby.
14.52 centimeters. I think that's about 6 inches. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, sounds
all right, let's go, Germany.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Yeah, lost 2 world wars at it.
Started and fucking failed 2 world wars.
You know, I don't want to go into this too much, but it's still so funny that the most militaristic country from basically 1914 to 39 still was, even after they lost, were so good at war. Yet they both, it's like losing the World Cup twice. It's just like, you know, you came close, but you still lost. And you're still a loser for that reason. Like, and here's the thing. Most people even argue no one did war better than Germany. Yet they still lost both world wars.
But we have bigger dicks than the French.
In spectacular fashion. It's all that fucking sausage they eat, probably.
Oh, Lord. I would love to. I think we've talked about this before, dude. But I would love to go to an Oktoberfest. I would love to go to an
fucking plastered.
Oh, exactly. That's what you do at Oktoberfest.
I know, that's what I mean.
I would love to do that. Just like fuck some like German chick in a lederhosen.
But this is
which
also
they don't
why...
typically wear. It's just part of the tradition of Oktoberfest.
Exactly.
I don't think that's what women typically look like over there
especially
in Germany.
Nowadays, obviously. I think if they're real into the traditional type of sort of things, like maybe they'll probably wear it. But it's like most obviously women don't wear that shit. Like and plus like you're gonna be fucking drinking. This shit's a costume, and like you gotta give that back afterwards. And the last thing you want to explain is like, oh yeah, sorry for this one beer stain on near the titties.
I would love to drink like a beer or like drink like drizzling beer or like some sort of alcohol off of a woman's chest. I've never done that.
Damn, David, that's like some real like. Oh, I don't know what to
call
it.
I'm a bachelor now, my dude. We got our shots up. I'm trying.
That's why I'm like, damn, like. That I guess that's the true word. Yeah, it's like some bachelor shit right there. It's like you just like don't give a fuck. It's like let's go, bro.
Yeah, it would be like doing coke off her titties, except it wouldn't ruin my fucking life. My favorite line from fucking what's that movie? 21 Jump Street. It's like, oh, dude, what drugs are we gonna get for this party? I got a half pack of sour diesel. Got this weed. Yo, I got a couple kegs of coke. It's like, dude, we're trying to show them a good time, not ruin their fucking lives.
Yeah,
like, what are you doing?
And here's the thing, though, too. It's like, not that I condone the use of cocaine, but it's like, if you're gonna be bringing weed to a party,
yeah,
that's gonna be a very like when you go to a party, you're not trying to make it mellow. You're just trying to get people fucked up.
The parties that I go to now, they'd be like, all right, if you're gonna smoke, do it outside. They usually have like an area for it, which I prefer because
fair enough.
I don't smoke. So,
but if the smoking is gonna be like a social event, it's like it's no wonder that people did so much cocaine back in the 80s.
Yeah, if it's like a weed party, then what are you doing?
Everyone was fucking partying back in the day. I mean, people are still partying now, but like, cocaine that like adds a whole nother level to it. Like, not that I'm saying I ever done it. I'm just saying though, like compared to weed, it's like obviously coke is a step up if you're really trying to get fucked up for a party.
I love doing cocaine with you, Johnny Depp. Amber will never understand you.
Also, she's a cunt fucker.
Pretty much, yeah. All right. Well, I gotta make my grandmother. I gotta go make my grandmother some dinner because we be taking care of her since my parent. Whoa!
Yeah.
My fucking. Oh god, my mouse just froze for a second.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Must have been something with Riverside. I think they updated their UI recently, which is it's like only a little bit. It looks nice. Just didn't want to do that. So we are pretty much done here. Just got to go take care of my grandma since my mom and dad are away for a couple of weeks. Make her dinner. If anything, I probably should have done it a little earlier, but I was waiting for that guy to call me. So
piece of shit.
We're done. I know it feels weird to still do this, but the code I do believe still works. As a matter of fact, I should still test it, so this might be the last time we plug it, but Rise Cold Brew, here it is on screen. You can get yourself some tasty, delicious nitro organic cold brew and oat milk in a bunch of flavors with using the link below and using discount code Nintoonist to get 10% off. If you do that, a proceed of that sale goes directly to supporting the podcast. So if you've ever thought about donating or whatnot, this is pretty much the best way to do it as of now. We're probably going to change this a little bit in the future since I'm going through some changes of employment and stuff and whatnot recently. So if that code still works, I'm happy to still plug Rise because I love the drink and stuff, and obviously like it'll help us like proceed with the show and whatnot, but it's something for you and I to talk about later. But we're an hour and a half in, Dennis. I think we're done. Today was a pretty fun one.
I'd have to say, yeah, I think we talked about fair share of serious and hilarious fucking topics.
It was a pretty good mixture of both of the D's right there.
Yeah. Good cocktail.
Yeah, I might need to get
the double D. The double D cocktail.
Oh, it'd be
the best,
dude,
in the state.
I would love to have a drink named after us at like a local bar or something. Wouldn't that be cool?
It would be cool, yeah.
Get like the double D experience at like the local pub, like somewhere here in Jersey.
We'd have to give him our graphic, I guess. It's like we want royalties every time someone orders this drink.
Make more money off of that.
Right to us. Even like go make our own beer or some shit.
Oh, it's a microbrew mixed with goat's milk.
Meanwhile, it's like not actually goat's milk. It's just you jacking off into the vat. It's like, yeah, some goat's milk.
Well, that's the double D experience, baby. We're done here. Dennis.
We're done here.
Plug the sponsors. The sponsors. Plug the socials.
We're sponsored by Wawa. We're sponsored by Nintendo. Actually, no, never. I wouldn't actually.
Hey. We're not sponsored by Nintendo yet. Give it a couple months.
It depends on what they would sponsor us for, though. Because, like, we kind of went off on them plenty of times. Like, I don't think they're going to be ever being, like,
dude,
coming to our front door.
All I'm saying is they put that shirt on me again come fucking September, come October. Your boy is going to have a severe case of Nintendo-nitis again. That's going to be the new pandemic coming around, bro. If she Nintendo, I'm Nintendo. That's all I'm saying. That job paid out the ass. Woo! I'm really happy my new job is going to accommodate for it, too. Dennis, where can the good people follow us?
Y'all could find us on not Facebook. Y'all could find us on Twitter, on Instagram. You can find us on our other podcast platforms like Apple Podcasts. Leave us a review. Tell us how fucking sexy we are, and like
it really does help, guys.
Give us all that good shit to us, and Spotify. That's where my train ends. I literally just had a brain fart.
No, dude, the train hit the station. If there's the best time to possibly have a brain fart. All right.
Okay.
Well, I gotta go feed my grandmother. Thank you so much for everything. Listen to everything Dennis said. Give us a good review on Apple Podcasts. Blah blah blah. All that stuff. Follow us on our YouTube as well. YouTube.com/Nintoonist, because I know that's where most of you fuckers listen to us. And definitely ask us questions to be answered live on air. We haven't done that in a while. If you guys are curious.
Yeah, guys, please drop more questions.
I haven't been proactive with that. I haven't asked anybody for questions on the podcast in quite a while.
We're gonna start now then. New Year's resolution early. We're gonna ask more questions.
Half New Year's resolution. New Year's in July. Christmas in July, yay. And also whatever guests that you want us to have on, because we definitely got to try and have some more guests on soon. But we are done. Dennis, you get the last word.
I have to piss so fucking badly. I'll see you guys next week. Go fuck yourselves.
Let's off.